First, I want to explain to you what it really means to be in a relationship with yourself, which is very simple, but I don't think we pay enough attention to it. To me, being in a relationship with myself is being present with myself. It's about staying connected to my true self. And it's also about how I relate to or with myself. And there's a short definition, but if you think about it, there are a few kind of elements to it. How we stay connected to ourselves is who we are in this relationship, what qualities we bring to this relationship, what practices we bring to our relationship with ourselves. So I want to talk about it a little bit today. I didn't used to prioritize my relationship with myself. I used to think the romantic relationship I would have with my partner would be the most important relationship in my life. And through my experience, I kind of had to learn to lean in. I kind of had to learn how to be with myself, because every relationship in the past would leave me drained, and I would pay a high price with my energy, with my time, with my emotions. So I had to kind of learn to rely on myself, and thanks God for that, because this is the truth. We never stop being in the relationship with ourselves. We always take this relationship to other relationships, and it makes perfect sense to invest our time, energy and efforts into maintaining an amazing relationship with ourselves, because it will also affect the relationships we are having with others. So my focus was very much onto the external relationships for so many years, and this left me feel empty. And every time I split up in the past, I needed to come back to myself. And I think every split up brought me closer and closer and closer to myself, until one day I just realized, oh my goodness, I had been blind to the truth that at the center of my life there's me and the relationship with myself. Everything else comes and goes. Relationships with my partners, my romantic relationships, relationships with my family members, even relationships with my kids. I have kids, they're little, they'll be older, they will go out into the world, and I won't have them. Okay, I'll still be in the relationship with them, but they won't be as present as my relationship with myself. So it is so important to look after the connection you are having with yourself, and it is so important to be aware about what qualities you bring to the relationship with yourself, because these are the very qualities you'll be taking with you to the other relationships. And one lady prompted this video because after my last live, when I was talking about the quality of the relationship we're having with ourselves, she reached out to me and said, oh, I would love to hear more about it, how to improve the relationship with myself so I improve the relationships with others. So I'm gonna focus on it now. It's a good analogy is look at what you are looking for in the relationship with your future man, in your romantic relationship. What are the qualities you would like to have? So I can give you my example. For example, honesty is important to me, trust is important to me, love is important to me, being authentic, communication, what else? Having having similar dreams, goals, so we kind of go in the same direction. Not all of them, but the kind of fundamental ones. Being honorable, being in integrity. These are a few examples, and I haven't thought about it long enough to actually give you a precise list, but these are just a few examples, and you'll get me when I talk about it further. So let's say I want honesty, trust and love in the romantic relationship, and then if you bring it back to the relationship with yourself, you ask yourself, how honest am I being with myself? Because the level of honesty you're going to have in your romantic relationships is very much correlated to the level of honesty you have with yourself. Communication, how open are you to communicate in the relationship? But that is in the context of a relationship with yourself, there will be your self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? Are you being kind, compassionate, or judgmental, or being kind of harsh with yourself? What is your self-talk? Then trust. Trusting in a relationship is also very much about trusting yourself. How much do you trust your choices? How much do you trust your decisions? Do you actually trust your wisdom, the inner guidance you have, or you just go outside of yourself and you look for validation and approval, and you don't really trust yourself? So every quality you want to have in the romantic relationship, you first need to cultivate in the relationship you're having with yourself. And it's not just in the context of romantic relationships, because it applies to every single relationship in your life. And it's about bringing everything back to yourself, to the relationship with yourself. So other examples would be, for example, you want to feel happy in your future relationship, but how happy are you feeling with yourself right now, right here? And what can you do to improve it if you are not? When you look after yourself in your relationship and you feel energized because you exercise and you eat nutritious food and you sleep well and you look after yourself, this will all affect the relationship you're having with your partner or other relationships in your life, because you'll be bringing the high vibe energy with you to those relationships as well. So if you are flat, if you don't look after yourself, if you don't do much to raise your energy, you will be bringing the flatness and feeling deflated with you to your relationships with others. So the question is, what kind of qualities, values, things you want to bring to the relationship with yourself, and what do you want to focus on? Because this will be directly translated onto the relationships with others. And I had earlier, when I was thinking about this live, judgment came to my mind, because you will be as judgmental with others as you are judgmental with yourself. You'll be as compassionate with others as you are compassionate with yourself. So you can practice everything on yourself and on in the relationship with yourself first. And obviously, the less judgmental you are with yourself, the more understanding you will be with others. And I've been thinking about it because I can be pretty judgmental, and it starts with me. I judge myself harshly, and because of that, I have a very strong inner judge within me, and it comes from my home. My dad was very judgmental, and this is how I learned to be judgmental as a kid. But it's not to kind of obfuscate, is that the word? The responsibility. Is just being aware where it comes from, but also the more aware I am of me being judgmental, the less judgmental I am. Because very quickly these days, when I catch myself, first I very quickly catch myself when I judge myself or others, and then I have the ability to change this. And instead of judging myself, I immediately go into compassion, and I find the reasons why I can be compassionate instead of being judgmental. So this is how it works, and it's about focusing on the qualities you really want to improve, and while you're improving them in your relationship with yourself, they'll be very present in the other relationships in your life.